Okay, so this is day 3. We are leaving Cedar Point this morning. As you can see, the view from our hotel room. Got a nice view, minus the bird poop on the window. It's kind of normal for out by the peninsula here, or out on the peninsula. So the plan for today's trip is we are going to head out of here in just a little bit in the morning here, and we're going to a retro Pizza Hut.
Classic.
It's a classic Pizza Hut. That's like straight out of the 90s pretty much. So looking forward to do that. We're going to go get some lunch, and then we're heading out to Knoebels for the rest of the evening. Don't have a ton of time there, honestly. We only have about 4 hours at Knoebels, but we'll get a chance to walk around the park and see what's going on and all that stuff. So hopefully we have fun today.
Now get ready. Here we go.
So we started off our drive up in Sandusky, Ohio, and now we're heading out to Pennsylvania to go to Knoebels. We're making a long drive. It's a couple hours to get over there, but about 2 hours into the journey, we are going to stop at this retro Pizza Hut, or Pizza Hut Classic, which is a really cool thing. Ran into some pretty heavy traffic along the way too, but we like driving through the Pennsylvania, what do you call this, hillside, countryside? It's very nice.
Mid-stop of the trip, here we go. It's a classic Pizza Hut.
Alright, now the inside of this was just, it was amazing to be in, because it's like, oh man, this looks like it's like frozen in time. It's pretty incredible. We ordered, like, we got there and we were gonna get the buffet, so we were like, yep, we're gonna go for the buffet next and we're gonna get that, which was really good. In case you guys are wondering where this place is, it is over here in Morgandale, Ohio, a couple hours from Cedar Point. All the buffet stuff, a good salad bar, they had a fair amount of pizza up there, the classic drink with the red cup, yep. We were all pretty happy, taking all sorts of pictures around there.
Okay, Son has had a lot of carbs.
I think I'm up to like 4 or 5 plates now.
4 or 5 plates. Mrs. the Ride Mechanic has actually had a bunch as well, and I actually had a bunch as well. So I'd say this was great.
Alright, now, full of pizza and soda and everything else, we headed back onto the road. The other side was having a pretty significant traffic jam, but we were just counting the miles off, heading down the road. Passing more countryside, absolutely beautiful in Pennsylvania out there, love it. If we were going to move somewhere, I'd probably move to Pennsylvania. And here it comes, Knoebels. Yep, there we are. We were very excited to see this coming out of the mountains here. Just like, oh man, look at that. That is really cool. What a picturesque sight. Like, man, that's really cool. Could not wait to get in there and see what they had to offer for us. Here is our family photo right there. Here we are, first visit to Knoebels. Walking in the park, didn't have to pay for parking, so that's already a good thing. Watching rides run, this is just an awesome little park so far. I love the look of it, love the feel of it. It's great. Okay, since this is my first time here, where do I go to find the Bayham Curve? Does anybody know? Looking for that. We headed out next to get some ride tickets. We ended up buying the wristbands because we had a couple of hours. We had 3.5 hours here. All right, here we go. Time for the Phoenix. 5-time golden ticket winner. Let's see what this is all about. So I'm getting in line for Phoenix, and I'm already nerding out over just the queue line. Like, the wood's in such impressive shape, looking around at stuff, everything is extremely well maintained. I mean, like, crazy well maintained. This is like brand new ride type stuff. Like, man, I've seen new rides that were in worse condition than this old ride. So it was really impressive just to sit back and watch this and just watch things run and say like, oh, how does this work? How does that work? And like sitting in the queue line here, being able to watch like the platen brakes work or from underneath the ride. You got some good visuals of this ride moving around. Everyone's having fun. I hear lots of people in line talking, having a good time. No one's talking bad about anything, which was kind of a different change coming from Cedar Point. You know, my last video was at Cedar Point, and like, when you're in line at Cedar Point, like, you hear a lot of people talking crap about everything. But Knoebels, everyone was just genuinely having a good time. Some people are like, oh, it's hot, but there's not much you can do about that. Taking a look at the trains and stuff like that. Some nice little airtime hills out there. Now, I was advised to ride this guy in the back row. When I do the Side Friction podcast with Greg and Bob, they said, oh, you got to ride the back row because you'll be like standing up throughout the majority of time along that track. And yeah, they were right. This is an absolutely great ride. Hauling butt around the backside of that ride. I got, because there's no lap bars or no seat belts, and the lap bars are way up there. They're not really on the lap. It was like I had so much floating air time back over there where my butt was 10 inches off the seat, and it was a really incredible ride. I am so glad I took the time and got that experience. Son had a great time too. Even the wife went on that. Mrs. the Ride Mechanic also had fun. Okay, got off the Phoenix and then we headed around the corner to the Black Diamond Mine. Gonna see what this is all about now. This is an interesting little ride. I do have to say, I love little quirky things like this. So interesting to see how parks do things and how parks put the final product together, especially this where it's supposed to be heavily themed. It was really interesting to see. Yeah, this old switch track. That was so cool. Check that switch track out. You don't get to see things like that all the time. All right, that was a fun little ride. It had a warning for fart ailments, so not sure.
Fart ailments.
Yeah, that was good. So far, liking everything here at Knoebels. It's great. Now, walking around this park was just a completely different feel altogether. It was really crazy. It has some sort of like amusement park, but a campsite vibe going with it. And I mean, I'm sitting here watching the paratrooper running, and I'm just like, man, I have just never been somewhere like this. It was like almost unreal. So I went over the Haunted Mansion next. Needed to see this. This one is a pay per ride, so it's like basically 3 tickets or something like that, but if you have a wristband you still have to buy tickets to get on this one in particular. Okay, that was really fun. Probably better than Disney's Haunted Mansion. Sorry, Disney. After riding that guy, I could definitely see why that you needed to buy the ticket. They had so many things in there in operation working just fine, and I know from experience doing haunts and stuff like that, those props require a ton of maintenance, a ton of repair, and a ton of replacement. There's no good way around those things. That was a good ride. Next up, we went over here and I was walking by and I saw this old carousel that actually had the brass ring where you can go grab the brass ring and then throw it at the target. That was something I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to get on this thing. We were doing some other stuff, but I'm like, I've got to come back and get on that. Spoiler alert, I didn't get on it, unfortunately. We just ran out of time. There's so much stuff we wanted to do. We just ran out of time. Disappointing on my end, but that's a me problem. Stuff right here. Look at this. This is nice. I like it. Oh, this is what the guy was talking about the other day.
What? The Alamo parking spots?
No, this is the thing that they use to rehab,
Trains?
No, the launch coaster back there, or whatever that coaster is.
There's a launch coaster?
Every time the gondola jiggled,
Right? You
just a
wanted to
little
go
bit,
on this.
Mrs. the Ride Mechanic started freaking out.
Look at Don't.
I would jiggle it. And here we come up on another tower. So I decided to film it.
They could fit a good group like that.
Oh, so much fun. I can't help it. Whenever I'm on a aerial skyway like this, I always end up taking lots of pictures of all the running wheels and the cable grips and everything else. I don't know why, just I like doing it. I find the whole thing pretty interesting. Surprising I haven't done a show on that yet. I'll have to do that at some point. But we're just up here. All this does is go up the mountain, turns around, and comes back down. There's nothing to get off up at the top. But up at the top of the mountain coming down, there is some great views coming down the mountain. As we watch this grip roll over its support wheels. Very cool. I don't know why I like watching that stuff, but I do. And again, the views coming down off the hill is nice. You get to overlook the entire park and see pretty much everything out there, as much as you can with the trees and all that stuff in the way. Kind of get to scout out our next ride, though. Our next ride, we're going to eventually make our way over to the other side of the park and go on the Twister. Now, right next to the Sky Buckets, there is this little free boat ride to go on, and Mrs. the Ride Mechanic really wanted to go on this, and I was standing there, and I'm like, you know what, that's pretty cool. I'm watching the operator there, and she is basically operating all these block zones by hand. That's all the valves that she's got there. So they're pneumatic or maybe hydraulic controlled paddles that stop all the boats to basically make like a block system. We're heading to the boat ride next. Mrs. the Ride Mechanic's gonna drive this one. She said she'd watched SpongeBob enough. She could drive this boat. See? Look at the happy couple going on the Love Boat. Aw, how nice. It's open water. There's a chance we might die.
Gotta take a picture.
Beginning to think I should have driven. Okay. Really tight clearance here. This was such a cool thing. I was going through this ride. I'm like, it goes right through the middle of this roller coaster overhead. I was like, how cool is that? Man, I'm just like, everything I do in this park, I turn around and fall in love with it just a little bit more. It's such a cool place to go. I'm like, man, the amount of years we could have been going through and doing stuff. Son was not having a fun time. He did not understand the balance to keep the boat actually moving straight, so he was kind of constantly riding the wall the entire way. So it's like, you have to move over a bit, sit in the middle of the boat. All right, Twister time. Weren't sure if we were going to make it, but here we are. Let's get on this bad boy. Yeah, we were not sure, but we got on Twister, so we were not sure if we could do that in the time that we had there, because we only said we only had 3.5 hours, and we wanted to get on, realistically, we wanted to get on Phoenix, and we wanted to get on Flying Turn, so everything else we were kind of really having to check our time and figure out what we really wanted to do. The lines at the park weren't very bad, so, I mean, it was like 10, 15, probably 20 minutes for Phoenix, which wasn't bad. Twister here was about a 15-minute wait, I think. Not very bad when you talk about lines for roller coasters, you know. That's not bad at all. Such a cool ride. I like the double helix there that's wrapped around the middle of the ride. That's cool. Sitting there watching it run from all the angles around. It's got some good airtime pops in it. Not as much banking as I would like to see, but it is an older ride, so they don't bank as much. Going through that double helix there is pretty cool. Interesting feature. Definitely something that was cool to see, cool to ride on. It was, again, in great shape. Wasn't really bumpy. It didn't really give off that jerky vibe to it that I've had on so many wooden roller coasters. It was just nice and fast. Everyone's told me that East Coast Woodies are different than the West Coast, which I've been used to. And I was like, let's sit. And they're right. They are different. Stay off the yellow line. Stay off the air gates. Make sure. Wait a minute. I don't get it. Do I stay off the air gates? Do I just walk onto the train now? What do I do? I'm lost. This is actually Son and I riding around on this train right now. We got a back row. I think the overall theme of this trip was no matter what ride we went on, we pretty much were always in the back row. You can see us in the back row on pretty much every single ride for the entire trip almost. Got around that double helix, having fun. Son with his hands up, I holding on, of course. That's an age thing. My back appreciated me holding on. Although that wasn't too rough, so I wasn't worried about that.
Oh, man. But they're thinking about it. They're thinking about it.
Coasters built in the olden days, back before they believed in banking. It was still good, though. I liked it. Did you like it?
Yeah. That first turn after the first lift hill was the best.
Yeah, definitely some flat banking on that thing.
Ride looks slow. I'll say it.
Sun's heading up on this one, the Rocco Plain. We had one that was just like this at a little local like funplex area close here in Omaha, and he loved going on it. Every time he went to that place, which is like a water park, he rode that thing like crazy, and he would always turn the cabs upside down. He'd love passing through the station upside down. But then they got rid of it, so he was bummed out. So when he saw that here at Knoebels, he's like, I've got to ride on that thing. So it's like, well, he was on it. I'm like, I'm not going to go because I barely fit in the thing to start with. I'm not going to subject my head to that. But I'm like, I'll stand off. I'll get some nerd shots, some close-up of the center hub and the pivots and stuff like that. Love these older rides because they're so simple. They're just, it's crazy how well they work for being so simple, you know? Shows how we can overcomplicate things these days and just make rides do dumb things sometimes by overcomplicating them when, hey, simple works on a lot of these rides. He was having fun. Yeah, at the Funplex, he always used to go on this, like, constantly. That was his ride while he was there. Of odd things we didn't know what to expect, we found the North Pole in Knoebels as well. And it's cold. Time to hit the flying turns. Here we go. This was a pretty amazing ride. It's really short, but it's really historic. It's bobsled style ride that is free on the track. So if you've never been on or seen or heard about one of these things, basically it's on rails as it goes up the lift hill and stuff, but once it gets out on the run track, it's in basically a half circle shaped track, and the train is free to wander around. So it's being held captive in there, but it's not on rails like it's predetermined. It's up to gravity. Flying turns. Just got done. Everyone loved it. It's a great ride. And we got done with like 5 minutes to spare with the park in operation, and pretty much everything was closing down. So we ended up having to say goodbye to Knoebels with a laundry list of so many things that we wanted to do. So we said, you know, one day we're going to come back and we're going to go on everything else that we didn't get on. Which is mainly like most of the smaller rides is what I was really anticipating going on. So we headed out to our hotel for the night. We ended up staying at a Country Inn and Suites, which was actually really good. I think this might have been the best hotel of the trip. Why? Because they had free cookies when you check in. It's like, cookies, check that out. I got a chocolate chip cookie. And for those interested, this was our license plate. The dark blue areas were the states that we got on this day. So we were able to find those states. We just had a couple states left to fill in with so much more travel and trip to go. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoy these videos. We had so much fun doing all of this. Again, we did a 10-day trip, covered 3,200 miles over 2 countries. I think like 6 states or something like that. And this was basically amusement park number 2 out of our 6-park tour. So I'm gonna keep making these videos until we cover all 6 parks, so don't worry. Like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. I do appreciate it. And as always, stay off the air gates. Bye.